Hello, and welcome everybody. This is Nitinjay Thakur. This is the eighth lecture of our complete Python programming course. In this series, we are learning Python, which is a very popular programming language. So this will be our eighth lecture. In this lecture, we will be learning about lists. What are lists? How are what are lists used for? Why do we use list? How can we create list and all? We will be learning about these things. Now, before starting this lecture, I want to know, I want you to watch the previous lectures before watching this video, this lecture, because I have taught a lot of things before, which is necessary for you to know before starting this lecture. So I hope you have learned about all those, like you already have watched those lectures, and if you are doing watching this lecture for revision, then this will also help you a lot, because I have dedicated a separate lecture for each specific topics. Now this is the eighth lecture, in this lecture I am going to tell you about lists. I hope this lecture will be beneficial for you. So now, before moving on, there's one more thing I would like to tell you, that you need to solve all the questions and all those mini projects that I give you at the end of the video lecture series. Sorry, at the end of the video lecture. Okay, because those things are necessary for building foundations, and if you do those questions, you will gain more confidence, and you will find it very easier in the future when you do some big projects uh, or some complex programming questions. So I suggest you to do all those things. uh, and if you want more questions, I am already providing you a lot of questions, but if you think those the questions are still less, you can just google it and you will find a lot of questions on the topics that you want. Okay, now before without wasting any time, let us just move on to the next slide, which is the learning objectives. So in this lecture, we are going to learn about lists. We will be creating some lists, and we will learn about how to access the elements of the list. We learned about accessing elements of a string in the previous lecture. I hope you have watched the previous lecture as well, because this lecture will be there are a lot of similarities in the methods that we are going to apply on the uh, list. So I hope you have watched the previous lecture as well. So now then we will learn about performing some index and slicing. Just like the indexing in string, there's also indexing in lists. Then we will learn about modifying lists, then add and remove, like how can we add some elements in a list, how can we remove the elements that are present in the list. Then we learn about uh, common lists method, some of the methods that we can use on our lists. Okay, then we will learn about nested list, and at the end of the lecture we will do some solve some real world problems. Okay, I will give you some real world problems. You can solve those questions if you want, and I hope you solve those questions because it will help you a lot. Okay, now let us move on to the next slide. It says, why do we need lists? Okay, so imagine you have a lot of data. Okay, so data about something, like some, imagine you have data of some students. Okay, in that data you have uh, you have marks of different subjects. Okay, so no, sorry, marks of different students that they have scored. Okay, now this is the example, like mark 1, mark 2, mark 3, and 90, 85, and all. So this is the these are some of the data that you have. But and for storing this, like you want to store the marks, so what you can do, like here it is doing, like there are 5 variables created, and each marks is stored in the specific variable. Okay, but this is very inconvenient because it will make the program very inefficient. So how do we solve this problem? We create a single list, and then we can list name marks, and then we can store all the marks that are scored by each of the students. Now suppose you have a list of an employee. In that list, sorry, in the data of an employee. So for data of the employee must contain some his I guess name, it should contain his name, his employee ID, which is integer most in the most of the cases, his phone number, which is definitely going to be our integer or some text. So this is mixture of different kind of data types. So okay, so you won't be able to store it in some single place or single variable. Lists help us to solve this problem as well, because it can club together different types of data types. Okay, like uh, entities with different data types. Okay, so it is very helpful for us if we store our data in the list format. Okay, so what is a list? List is an ordered mutable collection that can store multiple items of different data. Mutable means it can be changed, like the uh, the item like of the that are present in the elements that are present in the list can be changed. Okay, how can that they be changed? We will be discussing about them later on in this video. So this is what mutable means, that they can be changed. Okay, so lists are enclosed in square brackets. Okay, so here is an example of list which is named as fruits. Fruits equals to the square bracket, inside the square brackets, three name of the three fruits are written. Apple, as you can see, it is apple is a string. Why? Because it is written in a quotation mark. Then there is a comma to separate, to say that this like these two are separate entities. We use a comma to show that these two are different fruits. Okay, so that's how we bifurcate like the elements that are present in list. Okay, now what are the characteristics of list? Lists are ordered, they are mutable, they have dynamic size, they can allow duplicate values. Means 90, suppose there's number 90, it can be scored by multiple students. So so it means the list allows duplicate values as well. Okay, so stores multiple data types. So it can store different kind of data types. It can store integer, it can store string, it can store floating point values, it can store boolean as well. So these are the characteristics of lists. Okay, now we will be learning about how do we create lists. Okay, so for creating list, I want you all to open VS Code. Okay, so we will be like creating our list in VS Code. Okay, so let us just create a list. Okay, suppose I have a suppose let's suppose we have a uh, what is it like cities. Okay, I'm creating a list named cities. Okay, how do I create? I wrote a name which is like created a variable cities, then I wrote equal to, then now I will enter square bracket. Inside the square bracket I will write the name of the cities. Suppose I'm writing Delhi, then comma, next city would be Mumbai, comma, suppose that the third city would be I guess Chennai. So that's how we create our list. So this is our list. So now let us check its data type. What is it types? How do we check it? We will use print statement, then type function, which is a built-in function, and print is also a built-in function that we use to print some value, something. Okay, so this is type. Now I will enter the this like cities, because I need to check the data type of this thing. So I'm entering it like okay. Now I will run this, like execute this code. So this is the output. What is the output? Class list. Okay, so this is the output that we are getting. It means this is of list class. Okay, now let us just print the whole list. How do we print the whole list? We will write print CITIES, which is the name of this variable. Okay, now run this. This is the output, which is Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and all. So that's how we create a list. Okay, now suppose there's let's create another list, students. Okay, student, yeah, me, or something like, suppose there's someone named Sumit. Okay, Sumit is a person. We will store his name for, like his contact, his employee ID, which would be, I guess, which is suppose 12. Then I'm going to store his uh, then I'm going to store is his employability status, like is he like employed or not. So it is going to be yes, which is a string. Then I will store his salary, which is suppose 50,000. Okay, so as you can see here, it is storing three different kind of data types. Okay, first, sorry, first one is this is string, this is sorry, this is integer, yes is string, and this is a floating point value. So these three types of data type, like these three entities with different type data types are stored in a single list. Okay, now if I run this, like print this list, let's see what happens. As you can see, it is printing us without any issue. Okay, now let us move on to the next slide, which is accessing list elements. How do we access the elements of a list? So for that reason, we need to understand the indexing of the list. Okay, so what is indexing of the list? As I have already told you, in the context of strings, the strings have some index like position that is assigned to each characters present in a string. In the same way, there is indexing in list, but in this indexing, the assigned like index at a specific index, there is is assigned to a whole entity that is present in a list. Okay, what does it mean? Means at zeroth position there's this entity which is 12. This is at zeroth index. Then at first index there's a string which is yes, and at second index there's a floating point number which is 50,000. Okay, now if we have to access this, how do we access? We just need to write print, then we just need to write the name of the list, then square bracket. After writing square bracket, I will just write the name of the like enter the index, whose index of the element that I want to access. Suppose I enter 2. Okay, now if I run this, I'm going to get the like the entity that is present, element that is present at index 2, which is 50,000. Okay, now if I enter like something like 0, okay, I will get 12. Why? Because 12 is present at the 0th index. Okay, so now here comes one more important thing, which is like index should be in range. Okay, so if you do not enter the right index, if you enter index which is not valid in this list, suppose there are only 3 elements, means there are only 2 indexes, like there the index will end at position 2, so means there are 3 indexes only, 0, 1 and 2. But if you enter something like 3 which is out of the range for this uh, list, I we will get an error. Why? Because it will give us index error, because this index is not valid here, because there is no element present at place like index 3, and so index 3 does not exist in this case. Okay, but if I enter something like here, add something, suppose I'm just adding something random like xyz, this is the address, suppose. Now if I run this, I'm going to get the output. I'm not going to get some error, instead I will get the output which is xyz. Why? Because xyz is now stored at index 3. I hope you understood this. Now comes the next part, which is negative indexing. What is negative indexing? It means, just like in the case of strings, we saw negative indexing. In the same way, there's negative indexing in this in the case of lists as well. So how and what it is like, let me show it to you. At the -1, at -1, this is mango, at minus 2, sorry, at minus 2 this is banana, or and at minus 3 this is apple. So these things are like present at here. So negative index starts from minus 1, and it starts from the last element that is present in the list, and it will move from right to left, just like we move on the number line. Okay, from right to left. So if we move from right to left, we will move towards the negative numbers. Okay, and it starts with minus 1 always, and positive indexing starts with 0 always. Okay, so you just need to keep this in mind. This is very important for you. What is negative indexing? Because it will help you a lot in some of the cases when you have to solve some questions. Okay, okay, now let's move on to the next slide, which is list slicing. Like, so what does slicing mean? Slicing means taking or extracting some parts of the list. Okay, so how do we do that? Just like we did in the case of strings. So let's just go on our VS Code, and I will show it to you. As you can see, suppose if I want to access elements from zeroth index, from 0 to index 1, okay, 0 and 1, I just want to it to print 12 and yes only. Okay, how do I do that? I will just write the starting position 0, then the ending position means the ending position will be excluded. So I will have to enter index 2, so that it will exclude 2 and give us only up to index 1 only. Okay, so now if I run this, I'm going to get a list. Like a list is going to be printed in this format, which is going to print us 12 and yes. Okay, now if I just do one thing, if I do it like this 3, okay, now let's see what happens. It is going to print us 12 yes and 5,000. Okay, now here comes the question. What if you have to print like up to this place? Okay, how do you do that? So just do one thing, just remove this and do not write anything here. Okay, now if you run this, it is going to print the whole list. And one more thing, if you remove this 0 as well, is this like starting position as well, it is still going to print us the whole list. Why? Because this is default. If you do not enter any starting point, like in the previous case we entered 0, it will automatically by default take the starting position to be 0, and if we do not enter any like ending position, it will print us the whole list from the position. Like suppose I do one thing, I enter index 1, so it is going to print us from here to here, like complete list. Only it will skip only this 12 and print who the whole and it is going to print us the whole list. Okay, okay, as you can see, this is printing us the whole list. Yes, 5,000 and XYZ. This is the output that we are getting. So you just need to keep this in mind. If you want to print the whole list, it is going to print you this. Just keep this in mind that it is just extracting, means we are creating a duplicate like copy of the original list. We are not making any change in the original list. This is just printing the copy of it. Okay, you are not making any changes in it, because when we and how can we make changes, we will learn about this in the future. But right now it is just make extracting some parts like this and printing us a copy of it. Okay, it is not making any change in the original list. The original list is still intact, and there's has been no changes made to it. Okay, so now let us move on to the next slide. Okay, before moving on to the next slide, let me tell you one more thing. There's something called this when you do this extraction, there's one more thing called step. Like how many step does it have to skip? Okay, so when you do not enter something, like suppose I'm doing this like 3. Okay, this is the starting point, and I will put the starting point to be 0. The starting index is 0, ending index is 3. But if I add another colon and enter 1, it means that it will take the immediate next. Okay, it will also print the immediate next, means it will print this 0, then it will print yes, then it will print this, and since this is out of range, it won't print this. Now let's see. So this is the actual syntax of the like extraction. It is starting point, this is ending index, and this is the step. Now suppose if I do this, if I enter 2, so what will happen now? It will take first like this, then it will skip this one, and it will print this only. Why? Because we have enter the step to be 2, so it will take 2 steps at a time. So when we take 2 steps at a time, the first step, like one step is always skipped. Suppose you are like climbing a stair. Okay, you are on a stair, you are climbing up, but if you like when you take one step at a time, you you touch every step. Okay, but if you take two step at once, you will always skip one stair. Okay, like one step. So that is what happening here. So if I enter 2, it will skip the middle like this. Why? Because it took this step, then instead of taking it landed here, so it is printing us this. Okay, I hope you understood this. So when you do not enter anything, like when I just do just to keep this like it like this, it will it will by default take the step to be 1. I can also leave it here. It will also give us the same output. Okay, so when you do not enter a step, the step by default is considered to be 1. Okay, I hope you understood this. This is very, very important. Okay, when you have to print some alternate extract some alternate and like elements of the list, you can do this by entering the specific index. Okay, now let us use negative indexing. Okay, how do we use negative indexing, and uh, how do we use negative indexing and mm, extract extract our list? Okay, some parts of our list. Okay, for that reason, first we will enter -1, which is our starting index. In this case, it will start from here. Since index is starting, we will always enter the starting index at first, then we will enter the stopping index. What is the stopping index in this case? Suppose this is -1, this is -2, this is -3, this is -4. I want to print it up to yes only. So it I will write just -1, -2, -3, -4 only. Okay. Now let us just print this. Let's see what happens. Earlier it was not printing us anything because I had not written the steps here. The step should be entered. Since this is moving in the negative direction, the step should be negatives. Here it is -1. If I want to skip one part, like one step, I will enter -2. As you can see, this is yes and XYZ. Why? And if I just enter -1, it will move this side only. But if I don't enter anything, it is taking by default 1. Okay, since it is taking 1, so it will move this direction in the from here to in this direction. Okay, not in this direction, so it is not going to print us anything. Okay, I hope you understood this. So if I don't enter the index, sorry, if I don't enter any step, it is not going to print us anything. It is going to print us print us a empty list. Okay, so for it to print something, we need to mention a step. Right now I'm mentioning it to be -1, so it is printing us minus. So if I and suppose if I do not add the stopping index, what will happen now? It will give us the whole list. Why? Because it is not mentioned here. Okay, I hope you understood this. Now if I remove -1 as well, starting index as well, it is still going to print us the whole list. Why? Because start if we do not when we write -1 here, so it will since so it will always print us the whole list. Okay, moving on to the next slide. It says modifying lists element. Okay, list elements. So we already talked about like what is immutability, sorry, mutability. Since a list is mutable, so we can modify the elements that are present in a list. Okay, so let us suppose we have a list here. Since we have a list here, just we will modify it a little bit. Suppose I want to change the salary. Now the salary is increased. He got an increment in his salary. So let us now enter the new salary. Okay. So how am I going to enter this? I will just write the name of the list, Sumit. Okay, which is the name of the list. Then I'll enter the square bracket and enter the index where the salary is present. So index is 0, 1, 2. At the second index, the salary part is present. Now what I will do, I will enter the new salary uh, that is suppose 60,000. Okay, 60,000. Okay, this is the new salary. So now if I print print the list, print print list, let's see what changes has been made now when we print the list. Okay, so now when I print the list, I'm getting 60,000 in the place of 50,000. So this is what immutability is. We have made changes to the list, so that's what we are getting. Okay, so this is how we make changes to our list. We were not able to do this in the case of string. Why? Because strings element were not cannot be modified directly, but in the case of list it is possible, as you can already see here. Okay, so that's how we do this. Okay, now let us move on to the next part, which is adding some elements to a list. How do we add an element to a list? Okay, let us see this. So like suppose uh, there are three methods to add elements in a list. Okay, so first method is using append. Okay, append means when you use append, a new let me show it to you. Smith dot append. Okay, so when you use append, as you can see, I'm using append and enter some value. Suppose what I'm going to enter uh, email. Okay, suppose I'm entering email, Smith at email.com. Okay, this is what the email of Sumit is. If I enter this, if I do this, it will add this uh, email at the end of the list. At this, like after xyz, it is going to enter like this is 0, 1, 2, 3 at the fourth index. It will give add this. Now if I print Sumit, this list Sumit, now if I print this email has been appended to it at the last index. Okay, this is the fourth index. So that's how we append a like append something in a list. Now suppose you have to enter something like insert something at some specific index. Okay, you don't want it to enter at the end, you want it to enter at some specific position. So how can you do that? We will use insert. Okay, so we will use insert. After insert, we will write the index at which where we need to insert add this. Suppose I do this insert. Okay, now I will enter. So for insert, what I'm going to do is first I'm going to enter the index number. Suppose I enter 0, 1, I enter 1. Okay, now let us see what will be the output if I run this. Now if I run this, I am getting 12, but at the first index I am getting Sumit at email.com. Why? Because I used insert, and at the first index I appended this, like I inserted this and removed this yes to the second position. Like now yes is at the index 2. Now if I print, let's see at like when I do this print Sumit at index 2, I am getting yes. Why? Because this yes has shifted towards right. Okay, now it is at index 2. Now here comes one more thing, one more way of adding elements to a list. Now suppose we have a list already. We already have a list. Suppose the list is Amit. Okay, there's one more guy. His name is Amit. Okay, now his employee ID is 30. He is unemployed. Sorry. His working ID or something is 13, or whatever you can want to give it. Okay. So now if I want to merge these two in like lists, how am I going to do this? Okay. So what I am going to do is Sumit dot extend Amit. Now let us see what will be the output. Sorry. Now as you can see, this is how we do this. Now if I print Sumit, I am getting these these two extra output. Why? Because the like whatever was present in this Amit list, it was extended, like it was added to this one. Okay, so this is how we do it. We write for list name of the list one, then we write dot, then we write extend, and inside the bracket we will write the name of the list two. So list one dot extend list two. Now let us print Amit. Okay, let's see what has happened in the Amit list. Okay, has there was there any change here? Okay, now if I run this, there's no change in the Amit. Why? Because only that list will be extended which is written first. Since Sumit is written first, it only this is going to be extended. There will be no change in the second list. Why? Because we have not we just added this list to this, not this like Sumit list to Amit. Now if I just reverse this, okay, if I write Sumit here, Amit here. Now if I run this, you will see the list which is Amit. It has changed. Now the first list which was Sumit is not changed. Like there's no change in this. Only this one has changed. Okay, so this is how we do this. Now suppose if we just do one thing, Sumit.extend Sumit. What is the output? Like, let's see. It will just add the same, like it will duplicate each values now. Sumit.extend Sumit means I have extended, like I have added the same elements in the list. Okay, so that's how we do it. Let us move on to the next slide, which is removing some elements from a list. There are four methods. First is like remove, second is pop, third is delete, and fourth is clear. Okay, so first remove is used to remove some like specific entity which is present in an element which is present in a list. Suppose I do this. Smith dot remove 12. I want to remove this. Now if I print the list, it it is going to give us the remove modified list, which is yes 50,000 and xyz. Why? Because I have removed this first. Okay, now if and suppose if I do like there's one more way. The second method is using pop. What is pop? It will just remove a random element. You cannot control this. It will, you do not know what will be deleted. Since here it is deleting the xyz, it is always going to delete most in the most of the cases. It will delete the last element. Why? Because it works like, let me show it to you how it is going to work. The data that is stored mostly you can imagine it like this. Okay, data, there is, suppose there's a column, okay, the first element is added, okay, in this is the column, okay, this is the first element. Now there's a second element, then there's a third element, we are adding this, okay. So this is the last element. Now when you pop this, so when you use pop, it means it has to delete some element from the list. So it will be easier for the computer to delete this one. Why? Because it is the first element that it will encounter, so it can just delete it. So there one more way, it can just remove this, like it has to remove, like if it is going to remove this first element, it will have to remove all the, like, these two stack first, then it will be able to delete this. Okay, so in most of the cases it will delete this first element only. So when we use pop, it will always going to delete this xyz. Suppose if I remove this xyz, now if I use pop, let us see what happens. It is going to delete 50,000. Why it is deleting 50,000? Now this is the first element that is that it is encountering, so it is easier for it, the computer, to delete this. Okay, so now here comes the third method, which is delete. How do we use delete? Okay, so for that, delete, Sumit, suppose, yes, let's see. As you can see, when I write del, this is means delete, then space bar, then I will enter the name of the list, okay, then square bracket, then I will enter the index whose element, like, I want to delete. Suppose I want to delete this, yes, I will enter the index one where it is present, then I run this. I'm, as you can see clearly, the, like, yes is deleted already. Okay, now comes the last part, which is clear. When we use clear, it is just going to remove all the elements that are present in the list. Okay, as you can, Sumit dot clear, just use this. You do not have to enter anything. Now if I do this, the list is going to be empty. Why? Because all of the elements that are present here has been deleted. Okay, like, all these elements have been deleted, there's nothing present now. Why? Because clear is just clears all the elements that are present inside the list. Okay, now let us move on to the next slide, which is list methods. Okay, so there are several methods we have learned already. We already have used this. Append we have used, insert we have used, extend we have used, remove we have used, pop we have used, clear we have used, copy. Copy is used for copying a list. Okay, it will just make a copy of a list. uh, this is how we copy a list. I have copy a list. I have created a new variable, which is Sumit copy. Then I wrote Sumit dot copy. So it is just creating a copy of the original list. Now if I am printing this Sumit copy, it is printing as the copied list. Okay, I hope you understood this. So we have already discussed all these things. Append is used to add some item. Insert is also used to, like, append is going to insert at the last index. Okay, insert, we will just mention the index, and it will insert the item at that place. In when we use extend, it is going to, like, add multiple items. Okay, when we use remove, it is going to remove the item that we have entered. Then pop will remove some random item most of the cases. last element will be deleted. Okay, then clear will delete all the elements, and copy will create a copy of the list. Okay, now searching methods, it is just for checking which how many times or something an element is present. Okay, so let us just do one thing. Create a I'm creating a list which is lis1. Okay, I'm entering some 12, 12, 45, 678, 6. Okay, I am now going to use these two functions. Okay, like this is these two methods. Okay, first is index, second is count. Suppose I have to find the index of uh, 45. Okay, sorry, 45. Okay, now if I run this, I'm getting 2. Why? Because index of 45 is 2. 0, 1, 2. Now when I enter the index, I want to find the index of 12. It is going to print the index where 12 occurs for the first time. Since 12 is occurs here at the 0th index, so it is going to give me 0 only. No, it is not going to print as 1. Why? Because it will just search in this list. It will first search 12. Since it finds 12 at the first place, like at the 0th index, it won't check the rest. It will just give us the index. Okay, now if I enter 6, suppose it is going to give me 0, 1, sorry, 2, 3, third 3 as an output. Why? Because 6 like 6 is present for the first time at the third index. Okay, so it won't check the rest. It is just going to print us the like the first occurrence of 6. Okay, now second one is count. It will give us the output, like how many times some like the item is present in the list. Suppose I enter 6 again. So sorry, let me just change this. Count. Now if I run this, I'm going to get 2. Why? Because 6 is present 2 times. Okay, so now suppose if I enter 78, which is sorry, which is present like only single time, so it is going to print me 1. Now if I enter something which is not present in this, like 99, it will give me 0 as an output. Why? Because 99 is present 0 times. Okay, as you can see here. I hope you understood this. This is very interesting, I guess, because these methods you will have to remember, but do not just sit and just try to remember all those things. The more you practice, the more comfortable you will get. Slowly, you will learn all these things. Okay, you do not have to remember uh, remember this like sitting in one go. Okay, slowly you will as you will solve more questions, you will be able to remember all of these things. Okay, so now here comes the next part, which is sorting of list. So how do we sort list? Sort means arranging it in some form, like ascending order or descending order, suppose. So I will just sort this list this is 12, 12, 45, then it is 6, 78. So I just want to sort it in ascending order. As you can see here, I just want to sort it in ascending order. So what I am going to do, as you can see, the list has been sorted. Since when I entered lis1.sort, it has already arranged it in ascending order. So okay, so as ascending order is by default. If you use sort, it will arrange the list in ascending order. As you can see here, 6 is first, then 6, then 12, 12, then 45, then 70. Now suppose we have to arrange it in descending order. Okay, so what I'm going to do then, I'm just write reverse equals to true. If I do this, now if I run this, it will arrange it in descending order. As you can see, 78 comes first because it is the largest number, then 45, then 12, 12, 6 and 6. Okay, that's how we do it. So for ascending order, just write list name of the list, then dot, then sort, then parenthesis. Okay, and if you want to arrange it in descending order, write name of the list, then dot, then sort, then a parenthesis, then write inside the parenthesis reverse equals to true. Okay, I hope you understood this as well. So now let us move on to the next slide, which is like reversing of list. Okay, so we already did one thing like uh, uh, so now comes reversing of a list. How do we reverse a list? Means which mean it means that this is the list that I have. I just want to flip it. I want it like this: 678, 670, 645. So how am I supposed to do this? Just write list one dot reverse, add parenthesis. Now just run this. I'm going to execute this. Sorry, I did not print anything. Now if I print this list and when I run this, I'm getting the flipped list. So this 6 came here first, then 78 comes, then 6 again comes, then 45 comes, then 12, then 12. Okay, so it has just reversed the list. The first element comes at the last element has come to the first. Okay, so that's how this like you need to keep this in mind, that or like this reverse is being done to the original list. So the original list is being modified here. There's one more method which we can do is like we can use slicing. Okay, but in the slicing method, let me show it to you. Sorry, let me show it to you. Just let me just comment this out. And when we use slicing like this, I did not enter first element, so it will enter start from -1. And did not enter the last element, so it will goes all the way to the end of the list. And I enter the step to be -1, so it will decrease. Okay, so now if I run this, I'm getting the same output, which is 678, 641. But you need to keep this in mind that no change is being made to the original list. This is just creating a copy of the list, and we are getting the output as like a copy is get printed only. But when we do this, like reverse list dot reverse, when we use this is making changes to the original list. Okay, so this is the big difference. Okay, I hope you understood this. So that's how these two things differ. So now list length. So what is the length of the list? Means how many elements are present in a list. So just like in the case of string, I'm just going to write print len, then name of the list whose length I want to check. Since there are like 6 elements, it is going to print 6. So you also need to keep this in mind that if there are n number of element, like if the length of the list is n, then the index at which the elements end are is n minus 1. So since there are 6 elements, like length of the uh, list is 6, the last element will always be 5. 6 minus 1, which is 5. Okay, that's how we print the length of the list. Now we can use some membership operators to check if some elements are present in the list or not. Okay, so we are going to use some membership operators. And how do we use it? As you can see in this, if I have to check, suppose if I have to check if 45 is present in this or not. Okay, 45, how am I going to write in is 45 in 45, the number that I have to check, then in, then name of the list, which is lis1. Now if I run this, I am going to get true. Why? Because 45 is present in this. Now suppose if I write this not in, if I have to check if 45 is not present in this, it is going to give me false. Why? Because 45 is present in this, so it is giving me false. Now suppose if I write 0 not in, since 0 is not present in this list, it is going to give me true. Okay, So and now if I remove this not, it is going to give me false. We already have discussed about this, like how can we use this membership operators. Okay, so that's how, like this is similar in every scenario, like when we use membership operators. Okay, now let us move on to the next part, which is iterating through list. How can we iterate through list? Means how can we print suppose each element of the list. First thing is like we can now suppose if I have to print each and every element of the list, I can do one thing like print lis1 square bracket zeroth element. Then in the next line I will use another print statement. This is very inconvenient. How can we solve this? By using loops. So how am I going to use the loops? Okay, now I'm going to use for loops. I will add for I in range. For I in range, what will be the range? The like what is the last index, which is 5. So I will enter the 6, which okay. Okay, since 6 will not be included, it will only like you have, whenever you have to write something inside the range, just write the length of the list. Okay, since the length is 5, so I just sorry, length is 6, I'm going to enter 6. Now use print statement, print lis1 after print. How do we print something? We use write list, like list name of the list, then square bracket, and inside the square bracket we write like the index. I'm going to enter the index as I. Okay, now if I run this, I will get each and every element will be printed. Okay, how? At the first I is 0, so first I is 0, so list of I list square bracket 0, so 12 is printed. Then I becomes 1, then I becomes 2, then in this way the whole elements, all those elements that are present in this are printed. Okay, I hope you understood this. Now comes the like interesting part, which is nested list. Okay, so what are nested lists? When we write like when there are lists present inside a list, then it is called, then they are called nested lists. Okay, how do we make nested lists? Just write list, never write list like name of the variable to be list. Why? Because it is uh, going to throw us error. Why? Because list is already stored as a uh, some stored keyword like default keywords. Okay, so we cannot use that. Okay, so now I'm going to write list, and inside the list I'm creating another, suppose 1 comma 2 comma 3, then another list 4 comma 5 comma 6. So this is a nested list. Why? Because there are two lists present in one single list. Okay, the list number of lists inside the list can be any, like there could be n number of lists, there could be 3 4 5. So right now there are two lists present in one list. So now if I have to access the elements of the list, how am I going to do this? Just print lis1 1 sorry, zeroth, at zeroth index what is present? Sorry, lis1 not lis1, lis, this is the name. So at zeroth index what is present? This list. So this list is going to be printed 1 2 3. Now suppose if I have to access directly the elements that are present in this list. Okay, now if I have to present like print 3, the 3, this 3 that is present, so this 3 is present at second index. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to enter another square bracket, inside the square bracket I will enter 2. So it will uh, print us this 3. Why? It is same like matrix. Okay, so this is row. So this first like square bracket, inside this first square bracket we write row, and inside this we write column. Let me show it to you like this. Okay, now it will be more visible to you. This is the first row, this is the second row, this is the first zeroth sorry, this is the zeroth row, this is the first row. That's how we are going to see it. And this is the zeroth column, this is the first column, this is the second column. So this is the second column, so I have to print zeroth column, since 3 is at present at zeroth column and second sorry, zeroth row and second column. So this is how we're going to, now suppose I have to print 5, so 5 is presented first row and first column. So I'm just going to enter 1 and 1. Now if I run this, I'm getting 5 as an output. I hope you understood this as well. Moving on to the next slide, it comes with list functions. These are some of the functions. I have already taught about this. Len is used to check the length of the list. Max is like max, min, and sum will like sorted. We have already used. Okay, so now when I use print else list one. Sorry, I wrote it wrong. List max list one. Now if I run this, 78 is being printed. Why? Because 78 is the maximum number. Now if I write min, it will give us minimum number. Simple as that. We already have discussed these things before. Max, min, sum will give us the sum, like total sum of the like numbers present in it. Sort will like sort this sum. Okay, len will give us the length. Okay, so I hope you understood all these things. Okay, now copying a list, we already know this. How do we copy a list? By using these three methods. First is slicing. We already have discussed the slicing. When we do slicing, it is going to give us the copy of the list. Copy is another function that we can use, method you can use. How are we going to use it? I have already told you. Just write name of the list that you have to copy, list one dot copy. Okay, this is going to copy the list. Then this third one is list function. Okay, how are you going to use it? I will show it to you in the next lecture. Why? Because this will help us to like change the type from list to like some tuple to something else. Okay, this will also help you to understand in a way better way, like in a much better way. Okay, so list concatenation, just like string concatenation, there's list concatenation. Suppose there are two different lists, and if we use like arithmetic operator which is plus and use this, then these two we will get like a new list. Okay, which will have all those elements that are present in these two lists. Okay, then list repetition, same way we can use list repetition just like we have used in the case of strings. Okay, there are some real life examples. Here are some real life examples where we can use lists. Lists can be used in at student records, shopping carts, contact list, playlists. Okay, these are some of the real life applications of the list. Okay, so this is a mini project that we can do. Like you can create a shopping cart, then you can use like append to add some of the like you can take input from the user what they want to add at the cart, and then you can use append feature by using loop to add all those elements that has been entered. Okay, then this is the new like different like mini project. One more you can use, you can also create this by this is the project that you have. Then these are some of the practice questions. So write a program to find largest number. I already have showed you how we can do that by using max. Then you can use min to find smallest, sum of the list, average of the list. Okay, count and all, you can do all these things. Okay, if you want to, these are some of the questions. I want you to solve all these questions before watching the next lecture. Okay, this is going to be very important for you as a foundation. Now these are some of the common mistakes. Like like first mistake, which is like index out of range. You can enter index and index which is not valid, so it will give you an error. Then you can, when you use remove correctly incorrectly, like append extend correctly like incorrectly. Okay, so these are some of the common mistakes that you can make. Now this is the homework question that you can do. Create a program that stores marks of 10 students, then display highest marks, lowest marks, average, pass count, fail count. This you can do on your own. Now this is the summary of the like lecture. Okay, now this is the summary. We have learned today about lists, then we learned about indexing, we learned about slicing, how can we do slicing, then we learned about adding some elements, removing elements, then we learned about list method, loops with list, how can we use print all those elements on. Okay, So this is the next lecture. In the next lecture, we will learn about tuples, sets, and dictionaries. These things we will be covering in the next lecture. Okay. So I hope this lecture was beneficial for you. This is it. Thank you for watching the video, and keep practicing and keep improving your programming. Okay. Thank you.